everybody, welcome to my Goat Shed Life. Today I'm going to make a pie crust, we hope. Pie crust is always iffy. But I'm going to go ahead and do this video on making pie crust, and then if it's not worth a flip, you guys won't ever see the video. Yay! Alright, so here we go. Something I noticed on the flour is this note, cook before sneaking a taste. Flour is raw. Cook fully before enjoying. Because I'm gonna get a spoon and eat raw flour. Okay, just something interesting little point that I noticed. Alright. So we're gonna start with one half cups of all-purpose flour, not self-rising. There's the flour. And I'm adding almost a whole teaspoon of salt. And we're going to want to stir that up. I love this thing. It was my grandmother's. And this is about 3 tablespoons of butter. In with the flour. And then we're going to go back and put in about 3 tablespoons. That's a really fat tablespoon. Of shortening. And then I'm going to use my fingers, and I have to promise that I have washed my hands, which I have, with soap, and fully rinsed. I'm going back in with a little more shortening. If you don't have enough shortening, your pie crust is going to be tough. If you have too much shortening, can you believe that you can actually have too flaky of a pie crust? But you can indeed. That can happen. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I am left-handed. My mother used to tell me I was back-assward. She couldn't teach me to crochet. She had trouble teaching me to do just about anything. It made her totally and completely beside herself that I was left-handed. Of course, back in her day, left-handed children got smacked on the knuckles with a ruler. Gonna go with one more scoop, a little bit more, of Crisco. So, we probably used a good, 6 tablespoons of Crisco. The recipe I looked up called for 6 tablespoons of butter and 4 tablespoons of Crisco. Back in the olden days when I was a kid, they gave us, or we were required to have these 3-ring binders, and they made you leave your paper in the binder when you wrote. And for a right-handed person, that's not a problem, but for a left-handed person, we had to get up and around that ring to write, and we all learned how to write upside down. And all the right-handed people made fun of us for writing upside down. Yay us. I guess it just never dawned on those teachers that it was really hard for us to write with that paper in that notebook. They just never really kind of figured that out. I'm feeling pretty good about this. The consistency of it. They tell you the consistency ultimately should be like peas, about the size of little peas. And that's kind of pretty much where we are. You see that? That flour's mixed in real good. The next thing, I'm going to clean my mess up here a little bit. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some water. I hope I have some cold water in the refrigerator. And I do. So, I'm going to add like a tablespoon of cold water and a second tablespoon of cold water, and it says 3 to 5 tablespoons of cold water. So I added 3, and I'm coming back now with a fork. And what that water's going to do is going to start bringing that dough together. And the other thing about pie crust is it's not bread. You don't want to knead it. You only want to work it as much as you have to, because you can absolutely make it tough by pretending it's Play-Doh and going crazy with it, right? Let's see if I can get it to kind of stick together here in the bowl. Okay, I kneaded it a little bit. Alright, I'm pretty happy with the amount of water I've got in it. It's come together into a nice neat ball. So, I'm going to take some flour, sprinkle it out here. We always called this a dough roller. Ours looked different. It wasn't until I got older that I learned it was actually called a rolling pin. I really like this one. It's more chefy. And trimline, it doesn't take up quite as much room. Actually fits in my kitchen drawer. Those big rolling pins with the handles, they used to take up quite a bit of room. I flipped it because I didn't want it to stick. Pie crust is so tricky and so messy to make. Most of us just go to our freezer section or Pillsbury or somebody and go, okay, here you go. This is what we're doing. Because it's so much easier. It's kind of a surefire thing. Just like I said, a pie crust is kind of a crapshoot. It kind of looks like pie crust. Okay, and the other thing about my pie crust is it is never beautiful. I can make some ugly pies, but I can promise you you'll enjoy the ugly pie when you eat it. So in this is going homemade chocolate pie filling, aka chocolate pudding, which is a basic recipe that you can use to make just about any kind of pudding. But that's a whole other video. Alright, so I've made my ugly pie crust, and there it is. Just gonna take a knife. Go around the edges. I always thought that was the coolest part. I was like, Granny, let me do that. My grandmother was amazing. Saved my butt on way more than one occasion, I'll tell you. She was definitely one of my major advocates in life. And I sure do miss her. And it makes me happy to be able to make some of her recipes. And it also makes me happy to have some of her things that she had used to make some of those wonderful things that she cooked. So, let me get the pie crust off the bottom of the pan. Yep, there it is. It's going in the oven, y'all. We'll be back. See how we did. And there it is, the empty pie crust. It's actually browner than it looks on the video, but it looks pretty. If I can find my finger. Looks pretty flaky. Hi guys, so if you enjoyed the pie crust video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell. Ding-a-ling.